Now, I do appreciate that Kamala told JD Vance to go to hell, but
I appreciate that.
I do
Kamala did
appreciate
say I
that,
won't be there, and I'm
and I hope
telling
she
you,
stands on
you'll.
that.
I won't. I appreciate that. Nope, I'm good. And I was saying this yesterday, Reese. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama,
What?
Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. They should not go to the inauguration. Don't go.
Well, Michelle probably ain't gonna be there. Now, Barack might go, but Michelle definitely gonna tell him go to hell.
Barack and Michelle, don't go. What's the point? Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, don't go. We know Bush has no freaking morals and values, whatever. But I mean, y'all shouldn't go. Y'all said he was a threat to democracy. I believe that he is. Make a statement and don't go. Some folks said no, 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 no. Don't let him push you out of the inauguration. No, don't go there and co-sign and clap for Americana when you know what
Yeah,
this guy wants to do. Let him have his own party.
I
Melania didn't
agree.
even freaking show up to greet Joe Biden. If anybody knows Michelle, I don't care what Barack does. Michelle needs to say, "No, I'm going to an MLK event." Don't go.
She should. I agree. Well, Melania said I ain't even moving into the White House, bitch. She's saying,
Melania says she's not even moving into the. She'll be there part time or whatever. It's what I'm saying. The bar is so low for them, and we always got to go high.
we always got to do the respectability bullshit. We always got to do the norms and all that shit when Donald Trump is putting the norm to the shredder. But at the end of the day, I can't fault and take too much issue with Biden and the fact that he ain't like fuck y'all. I ain't giving y'all transition. Because people voted. This is what people chose. And if he was so abominable and if he was so unconscionable, then you motherfuckers should have voted. So I don't believe, and I will stand on this. I don't believe it is their responsibility to send the opposite message of what this election sent. The election sent the message that people are a-okay with Donald motherfucking Trump, whether that's through not voting or through voting for him. Yes, Kamala Harris got more votes than Barack Obama and every other Democratic candidate outside of Joe Biden. But given the stakes of this election, the fact that Donald Trump won the popular vote and the electoral college, it's not now Joe Biden's job. It's not now Kamala Harris's job. It's not now Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, or Bill Clinton or Michelle Obama's job to make him a pariah. That's what this country should have done on November 5th. And the country doubled down on Trump. So while I do take issue with the optics of it, at the end of the day, they are people about, civility and norms and all the other bullshit. That's who they've always presented themselves to be. I don't expect anything different now. But if we wanted to make Trump a pariah, we should have voted that way on November 5th. And if it don't apply, let it fly. You ain't got to say, well, I voted for him. Da, da, da. Okay, that's fine. I did too. I mean, I voted for Harris. Okay, that's fine. If it don't apply, let it fly. But as a country, the math is the math. As a country, this country doubled down on Trump.
In the New York Times, titled "Some Black Voters Ask, What Have Democrats Done for Us?" in the New York Times, right?
Jesus.
Very interesting article. They interview a variety of people. And there was one part of this article that stuck out to me. And they interviewed somebody from Mississippi, Yazoo County, Mississippi. And I think this is a teachable moment.
Mm-hmm.
The man says, a man named Vincent, 50 years old, who lives in Yazoo City, Mississippi, the county is Yazoo County, said, I think the Democrats have abused us for years. And he adds that he's followed the guidance he grew up hearing, that the party was his only realistic choice before he was swayed by Mr. Trump in recent elections. He feels like the Democratic Party has abused us for years. 50 years old. In Yazoo City, Mississippi. Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
This is the moment where the journalist should have said, fair enough. But are you aware that Republicans have been in control of Mississippi at nearly every level of government longer than you've been alive?
Mm.
You know, when you talk about red, Republican controlled, when you
Mm-hmm.
talk about the governor of Mississippi named Tate Reeves declares April Confederate Heritage Month. See, I'm all about holding folks accountable. I get it, Reese.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because in Philly, well, I don't live there anymore, but in Pennsylvania, we've had Democratic governors, Republican governors. We've had the state legislature controlled by Democrats and Republicans. New York
Mm-hmm.
is the same thing. New York is not as blue as you think it is. Kamala Harris just won Jersey, 5 points or whatever. So I'm all about it. But Reese, I'm confused. Mississippi? Am I missing something here? Because who you want to hold accountable is Mississippi. And in my opinion, the Republicans in Mississippi, I cover this in my book, they have been abusing black people for
Hello.
years. I mean, look at the work. I'm in a ball of confusion. Reese, am I missing something?
You're missing that people are missing the way that civics works. And so this is the thing that we talk about a lot. Um, Accountability needs to happen with the people that are actually in charge,
Right.
not with, well, I see that the president is a Democrat, so that means that Democrats are doing this. But you have a Republican trifecta in your government, and
For
then
decades.
your districts, congressional districts, are gerrymandered to dilute your power as a black person in the U.S. and the U.S. Congress, and also I'm assuming at the state level as well, state level districts. So have the smoke for the right people that you're supposed to have the smoke for. If you had a Democratic trifecta in Mississippi, Mississippi probably would look a little bit more like Maryland or like California. Okay. And now it's not the shit on
Maryland's a
Mississippi
great
because I know there are
example.
people in Mississippi that are very proud and,
I
well, we
love
ain't all
Mississippi. Yeah,
this, that.
yeah.
It's not
It's an
about
important part of our
you,
history.
the
Yeah.
individual. It's not that everybody in Mississippi ain't shit, nothing like that.
Right.
But when we're talking about the government and the choices that the government has made under Republican trifecta rule, it bears pointing out that they've made fucked up decisions. It bears pointing out that, for instance, Tate Reeves withheld money from the federal government that the Democrats solely on a completely partisan line passed for funding and infrastructure for lead water being removed, or for water improvement in Jackson, but it had to flow through the city, through the state. So it bears pointing that stuff out. It bears pointing out that in the state like Alabama, they get money, again, Republican trifecta, they get money from the federal government for education, and they don't even spend all the money that's allocated from the federal government. Or with Kay Ivey, who took COVID money
Hmm.
and that was supposed to go for schools and put it towards building more prisons. So the problem that I have in this whole conversation about accountability is twofold. Number one, you don't actually hold the right motherfuckers accountable. And number two, you want to preach accountability while not even holding yourself accountable for basic civics knowledge, and also not holding yourself accountable for supporting the people that actually want to implement the things that you think are important. Because accountability is not just, I'm gonna vote your ass out. Accountability is showing up at the meetings. Accountability is emailing people. Accountability is making phone calls, writing letters if you can't be there in person, and saying, these are my priorities and this is what I want support. That's also accountability. Now, if you don't give a fuck about doing that, then just shut the fuck up about accountability. You don't have to want to do that. That's okay. But then just don't let the word accountability come out your mouth, aside from the one time where you could do absolutely the fuck nothing any other day. But every election cycle, you have the right to hold people accountable with your vote. But if you're not even doing that, or you're not doing anything else in between time, then you should not be talking about accountability in the meantime and between time outside of election cycles.
Especially in the state where, again, the governor celebrates Confederate Heritage Month.
Right.
And again, this is the conundrum that I come to, Reese. Like, I don't know what could be said to make you think. I mean, I just don't know what can be said to incentivize someone like that.
Well,
It's heartbreaking. It's
I
heartbreaking.
it's part of it is the symptom, not actually a symptom. It's the fallout from the fact that our media, mainstream media, has completely abdicated the role of educating people. All they do is
Yeah.
parrot what people believe. That's 90% of the reporting is about what people believe. Cable news, what people believe, what people think, how people feel. And they don't ever bother to correct the record. So they just send people out to say, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? Motherfuckers say all the wrong shit. And then they sit up there. What was the girl name? Alex somebody, Wagner, who was in the barbershop with the
Oh,
motherfuckers. And they're
yeah.
just like, mm-hmm.
Interviewing people who were running for Congress as a Republican, but they found the black Trump supporter. And I like
Yeah,
Alex Wagner, but you're right. You gotta push back a little bit. You got to dialogue with a little bit.
yeah. But that's no longer the role that media has found itself playing. That's the role that we try to play here. We tell the people who are watching, the people who are running and all that kind of shit, this is what people feel. But we also tell the people, hey, what you feel is not fact-based, not evidence-based. We do both. But the media, the mainstream media, only wants to do this is how people feel. You got to have fucking conversations to correct the record. And you have to do that with the same discipline, with the same intensity that is being spent on misinforming people, on getting people disillusioned. Because I meant to make this point earlier about the whole cult of Trump. Trump doesn't have a cult because he's just this uber charismatic person and that he's just exceptionally compelling in and of himself.
Mm-hmm.
There are people like they show people leaving his rallies and shit. He rambled on people bored. You know
Right.
why he has a cult is because there have been billions of dollars invested in giving people information that boosts him. Oh, well,
Mm.
he's a failed businessman. That's not the information that people support him are getting. And then you also have an investment in making people question the folks who are correcting the record. They have an investment in making people feel like, well, all y'all do is attack Trump. So then they tune it out, even though it's not attacking, it's actually correcting the record from all the bullshit that people are saying. So when you have the benefit of billions of dollars in years of infrastructure invested in making people have a completely different reality, Fox News and all these conservative places, then yeah, it's real easy to be a cult leader. But if you take that shit away, or if you have a powerful counter to that with the same investment, then it ain't so easy to be a goddamn cult leader. But the other part ain't happening. Just the part in support of Trump is what's happening.